Hello and welcome back to Remnant 2. Last time we ended up finishing the lighthouse and getting the Sparkfire shotgun and managed to traverse not this bridge but the other bridge and get the palace to the One True King, which is this one. Nope, not that one. Not that one either. This one. I went inside just to grab the teleport, just to make it a little easier. But we are back here at the start, since I had to teleport anyways. I want to show you how to get the Ritualist armor if you aren't starting as that character. So what you want to do, I'm not going to switch, you can look around at these bodies. And you see this one? Looks like they got a little witchy hat going on. We'll switch just... Actually, I don't have a sniper, never mind. Thought I bought one, but I didn't. And nothing else is good enough. But you'll just have to trust me on that. It looks like a witch, you can see. You just... Now the armor's there. Riveting, I know. But it is something that I was struggling to notice when I did my first run through, and someone was just like, yeah, you just shoot it. Because if you go up there without shooting the body, you'll see a purple item marker right there, and nothing there. It is kind of annoying how it's set up, but what can you do? Now, we will make our way up to, I believe here's where we have to go. Yeah, so we're gonna have to fight through some stuff, but it's fine. I did what I said before. Tricked out the Sparkfire shotgun, max level. As you can see, this thing will deal over... If you do the 310 fire damage per second, or over 9 seconds, and then the 300 damage, you will deal over 4,000 damage with this weapon. Granted, 2 parts of it are over 30 seconds. But we will give it a try. I don't have the MP60 built as a support item. We're just gonna kinda run this and see how this bad boy performs. Thought the flying guys here would spawn. At least we got these guys. Don't say here they come and then not have anybody show up. It's disappointing. Also, keep in mind, I have handling, which reduces weapon spread, so I think this is a lot worse spread without that. Just, I don't want to set you up and have you get this weapon at level 1 and be like, well, why isn't it performing nearly as well? Kind of a consequence of building for handling. Which also further reinforces why you should probably get that trait. I know a lot of people are kind of against it, but when it's serving this well, yeah, the ammo pickups are a bit sparse. That is a bit of an issue with this gun. But I think it'll serve well as more of like a elite and boss killer. Because as you can see, it's flat out overkill against trash. 300 damage off rip almost bodies these guys on easy. But we'll swing right and go into this side dungeon. No, we go through the cave, never mind. This is the side dungeon. Hey, stamina recovery delay. Bruin got improved. I never use it, but it got improved. Glistering Cloister. I don't remember this one. I'm gonna have to kind of fight my way through and see what I'm looking at. Because this isn't the Red Prince. Because that's another thing. If you get the Gilded Chambers, which has the Red Prince, don't fight him. Because what you can do is if you pay him the 3 coins, which you can just get by resetting the area continually and farming, you have to get the... like the Wraith Knights, the not quite Nazgul. Kill 3 of them, get the coins off them, pay him, and do it after you kill the One True King, because then when you kill the One True King and you pay off the Red Prince, you can talk to him and be like, hey, yeah, or no, you'll pay him off, he'll go away, then you go back to the One True King's boss arena, and the Red Prince will be like, yo, he's dead, well, I'm the guy now. And then he'll be like, I did the whole thing, I killed the One True King. And as a reward for your assistance, you get this armor, and you get his red armor. Which it's not bad. Like, it's not anything better than, like, Leto armor. But it's still pretty cool. It's one of those, if you're not building for, like, crazy mobility with, like, the one ring that lets you just free dodge for gray health, then you might as well run it. But if you are doing that build for essentially infinite dodge, or not really infinite, it's no limit dodge, then I would just say wear the heaviest stuff. Still nice to collect. Ah, this bothers me. I'm trying to figure out what this leads to. Oh, I forgot to give the book back. I'll do it eventually. Maybe we can get the cool amulet that I want to show you guys. There's one that's really cool, and some of you will instantly look at it and be like, oh, and some of you will be like, I have no idea what this is referencing. It'll, when you see it, if you know the reference, which, knowing my demographic, you probably will, hopefully you think it's as cool as I thought. Also, what the hell is this dungeon? It feels like a maze, but worse. Like, there is no rhyme or reason to this whole area. I just feel like I'm running. Ooh, purple item. Oh. Fey Hunter ring. Lame. That's a vanilla ring. Also, fun thing to note. With this DLC, don't think everything is confined to Losum. There are new item drops in Yesha and in Nerud. Are they good? They're okay. The best stuff's confined to here right now, but it is cool. I think it'll be really good for, like, a new character, but I'm also slightly concerned because it's going to dilute drop tables for certain items. Because certain things are like, oh yeah, this is just random drop loot, or like random world loot you can pick up. And so I'm like, I'm cool with that, but I don't like that. That's probably a hint to this area. Yeah, I'm probably too dumb to figure this out, I'll be honest. This is why wikis exist. Wait. Yeah, I gotta go this way. Or is this the garden? I think this might be the garden. Because it's either here or it's the next, like, side dungeon. I'm actually gonna look this up quick to see Glistering Cloister. What's special about this place? Oh, I've done this place. Second I saw the boss name, I was like, oh yeah, I've been here. Wrong time to be using the shotgun for this boss fight. I'm trying to see. I'm actually just gonna stand here quick. Is there 2 rewards for killing this guy? I don't think so. Yeah, okay, we're good. I just wanted to be sure, because I remember seeing people kind of him and ha early on, where they're like, hey, this guy fights, like, in 2 different ways. Is there, like, a reward for DPSing him before he does his kind of second phase, or what? And I instantly thought that too. I was like, yeah, this could be, like, a reward for just melting him. But usually when they do bosses like that, it's more of, here's a weak point, don't shoot it. I think they need to go, like, they can keep these alt kills, but I think they need to also include, like, I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. The dragon tail cuts from Demon Souls and Dark Souls, where you could kill the boss, but you could also cut the tail off for a bonus weapon. And we don't need to rest, we're good. Considering it's this guy. That's nice. I'm just gonna shoot you in the nuts, dude. Yeah, he tends to kill all your summons. It's inconvenient. Oh, I am nearly dead. I am glad I have my ring, though, that gives me healing on hit. Another reason why that ring is so powerful. Now, this dungeon shouldn't spit out anywhere. I think it's just get loot and leave. The shotgun performed. I think it was... It's okay. I think for the rest of the run, we'll keep with the Black Maw. Simply because while this is good, I don't think it's the best option. And at least this has some built-in sustain with Bandit. Is that everything here? Yes. We will actually head back to Ward 13 to see what we get from his skull.
Better be worth my... Alright.
Ring of Spears. Call for 7 Phantom Spears to encircle the wielder for 25 seconds. This ring will deal up to 35 damage per second to the nearby enemies based on number of spears remaining in the ring. While the mod is active, these spears can be thrown by tapping the mod button, dealing 100 damage to the first enemy hit. Spears will remain at their impact point for the duration of the mod or until recalled by holding the mod button. When recalled, spears will return to the wielder, dealing 50 damage to enemies along their path. When all recalled spears have reached the wielder, they cause an explosion, dealing up to 350 damage based on the number of spears recalled.
We're finished here.
I know how this works. I've tried it. We'll show you. It's okay. I think it's very situational, unfortunately. And as you can see, it's a very slow recharge time. So let's pop it. Smacking that. We'll launch him into that. And then we'll go here. It has a purpose. I will say that. My problem is the purpose is very weird, because it works as a defensive mod if enemies close in, so it's good with dealing with trash mobs. You can launch them to deal decent damage against enemies far away. You can then recall it to deal some extra damage. But odds are, the explosion is not going to affect the enemy unless you are up in the enemy's face. So you are most likely going to have to be right up close, shooting, swinging, throwing all of them, and then recalling them at point blank range, which I think makes it very tedious, and it kind of takes away from other DPS you could be doing. It's not bad, it's just not great. I feel like it's trying to do too much at the same time, or it's made with too much utility, and as a result it doesn't really excel anywhere. It's just kind of like, yeah, you can do stuff, you just can't do anything too well. And while you are using this, it's all you're using. So, take that how you will. I just think it kind of puts itself behind the proverbial 8-ball. We'll go talk to the guy in the sewer, since we're here. And because we can, we're actually going to inspect the book and open it and get the coin from it. Bookbound medallion. Can I even give him the book now? Because I don't have it in my inventory. We'll see. We're here for the experimentation.
You. But I'm hardly worthy.
Is this your medallion?
Never did you come upon this?
I took it from a tome.
You did indeed. A tome that belonged to me. The thoughts penned in said tome were quite private. And that medallion is, as you have surely realized, mine.
Actually, I'm keeping it.
What is it you want? Coins? Servitude? Must I grovel on my knees and beg? Perhaps you would be receptive to a trade. That medallion is quite sentimental to me, you see, and I would be willing to offer a valuable replacement for its return.
See, if you give it to him outright, he'll give you something. If you say no once, and then give it to him, he'll give you a different thing. And then if you give it to him without questioning the book or like opening it at all, he gives you a different item. Screw it, we'll do it this way.
And see? That was not so difficult. Now we are both pleased. Unlettered fool. Oh. Don't forget.
Yeah, don't let the ring's name Trifulia. The Ring of Infinite Damage increases fire rate by 8. That's it. Which 14. I don't know how useful that ring really is. It's not like the dried clay ring. This one grants a stack of bulwark, increases all damage by 60% of the total damage reduction granted by bulwark stacks. You get this. You get this one, Soul Guard. Get 2 bulwark for your summons. Actually, you could run this, run a big boy, run the dried clay ring, and then run the amulet that I hope we find. Which, I'll just say it, it's the Bailet. If that name means anything to you, you'll know what it is. If not, don't worry about it. But we get the Bailet, and it gives you more damage reduction because it gives you more bulwark stacks. And it gives you something else, but all in all, you can combo really hard and do some cool stuff. It's just getting all the items. I remember when I first saw the amulet, I was like, yo, no way. I showed a friend of mine who likes Berserk, and she thought it was pretty funny. The one thing that kind of sucks is they don't have... I don't know, I can't remember if it's Skull Mask or Skull Rider. If you've read Berserk, you know the guy I'm talking about. They don't have his sword, which I'll admit would have been a little on the nose. Kind of like having the friggin' Bailet. But it would have been so cool. I'm surprised they never did that in any Souls game. But I feel like they probably were like, look, we do enough Berserk references in Souls games already. I think we're kind of hitting the nail a little too hard on the head with Kentaro Miura's work if we just straight up start putting weapons and armor in. Reminds me when they did that in Dragon's Dogma. For a while, there was a collaboration where you could get Griffith's armor, and you could get Guts' armor and their weapons, and it was really cool. And then the promo ran out, so now if you download the game, you can't get that armor. And that makes me sad, because I wanted to make my character... I mean, everybody would have made their pawns Guts, let's be honest. No one would have made anything else, just like how many Guts knockoffs you see in Elden Ring. That's why I made Butts, which was a character who looks exactly like Guts, but all of his abilities... He has the greatsword, but I had him just do the butt slam attack. Yeah, Forlorn Coast. This was the door I wanted to go out. I just realized I'm using this gun. I'm so used to using the MP60 that for the second I was firing, I was like, man, this sounds really beefy compared to normal. Even though all the teleports make this... I mean, it is a non-teleport checkpoint, but it does make these doors kind of feel useless. We'll run clear this because it's along the way. The One True King will also give us the option to kill Nimue, and we're actually going to take it. Simply because I don't think a lot of people take the kill Nimue option their first time through. Partially because, like, we worked with Nimue prior. And there is that feeling of like, hey, we just kind of betrayed the person we worked with before. Stop trying to clone me. Discount Fabius Bile. Maelstrom, what do you do? Increases elemental damage by 5% for each unique elemental status effect on the target. Increases mod power generation of elemental damage and elemental status by 20%. Who is shooting and from where? Oh, there. Yeah, that is a mod that if you are using the Ritualist is amazing. If you aren't, the value falls off pretty hard, because obviously you would want to use that AoE, get all the debuffs on the enemy, and then just start pounding on them, because you're going to get a ton of damage. I am kind of worried, because this DLC is like, hey, this is the damage DLC, or like the dot DLC, and we got corrosive weapon mutators. The next one I assume will be shock weapon mutators, and then the one after that will be fire. But you can't keep making dot archetypes. So what are we getting? I also really hope they don't... Like, I can't imagine Gunfire is going to do anything scummy, but I really don't want them to do this scummy thing and be like, hey, so you paid for the season pass, which is these 3 DLC, but we made a 4th DLC. Because I hate that kind of stuff. Being like, oh yeah, well, we just made another one that you have to buy separately. Now we have neat armor, but it's too heavy for my current build. I mean... You know what, I'm just gonna favorite all this stuff so that we can toss on all this and look at it. Even though it's pretty self-explanatory as to what it is. And that guy at the start who was like riling up the group of Dran and then he turns into the monster, if you wear this outfit, he will ignore you. Yeah, it's light. It doesn't give a ton of armor. I mean, 40% compared to what I'm currently rocking at 48. I mean, 48's not the greatest, but 8% damage reduction is 8% less damage. So... take what you can get. Alright, so now we just gotta... Can we make our way... Yeah, we can make our way down. Because we might as well get all the way down here. Just so we have it marked. Don't go down there, there is no point. It is literally just a blank area. Hi, Nimue, we'll be back for you later. this also just speeds up the mission, because now when we go and do our fight, we don't have to monkey around with having to walk all the way through. We can just teleport here and get it done with. Which, I think we're pretty much at the end, so we can just knock out this fight and we'll be done with, yeah, we'll be done with the game. It's a bit short, realistically, like 4 or 5 parts. But all things considered, it's not bad. Yeah, we're literally at the last boss fight now.
I don't like the looks of this.
Or not. I think we might have to go through one more area. Now that I'm looking at this. Because I'm stuck trying to think here. Also had something in my eye, so that worked out. Yeah, that doesn't give me any clues. Everywhere here looks the same. Oh. The ribbon. I don't know how to do this with, like... There's some missions... This mission with the ribbon where they're like, oh, if you have this, you can get the gold ribbon. I only find the plain ribbon. I don't really care. I don't think the reward, it really synergizes with my build. I don't think it really works with any build. Dude just really ran by me. You know what, whatever. You wanna ignore me? Go after my summons, I don't care. I'll let my summons do all the work. They can do the heavy lifting, I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, I just get the plain ribbon. And then it's just like, yay, you put a ribbon on. It's like, am I supposed to double back now and start going through these? Or, like, what's the deal? Those guys are like Artorias of the Abyss. Or is it of the Abyss or Abyss Walker? Man, I haven't played Dark Souls in ages now. But yeah, it's like Artorias mixed with just your generic Nazgul. Which is kinda cool. But I kinda have the same complaint as like Marauders in Doom Eternal. Where they're a cool elite, but the fact that you have to kind of deal with openings, or in the case of those guys, if they get their, you know, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu shadow clone deal off, then you gotta deal with the shadow clones, because otherwise he's immune to damage. Which is really annoying to deal with. Especially when sometimes those shadow clones are just like, yeah, we're gonna kind of drift off to a side. Ring of the Vein. I don't remember you being good. Reduces invulnerability window on evade and combat slide by 50%. Increases movement speed while aiming by 35%. That is awful. Like, hey, do you want to dodge and make your dodges suck harder? Okay. As I say that, there is a case to be made. There's an amulet you can wear that lets you, like, have it's like 1 or 3% chance on critical hit to instantly reset your cooldowns. And what you do is that, combined with the... What is it? I'm going to look at it. Invader, yes. The Invader, one of their abilities is like for 15 or 10 to 15 seconds, I think, you just auto-dodge. So I think the value is there. You just pop that, start auto-dodging, because then your invuln window is pointless, because you're auto-dodging. You are ignoring the damage. So you just pop that, you just stay ADS'd and hustling. Is it worth it? I don't know, dude. Sometime I should sit down and try to theory craft something for invaders, because I feel like there's some possibilities. It's just nobody really bothers to figure anything out, because why use them when there's a ton of other DPS classes? Yeah, it's the garden. I thought this was the garden when I saw it. Alright, we're gonna heal my flyer because it's going crazy, dying over there. So, can't open that door. This should be a door. Okay, so we can go through here. Clear the maze. God, that shit hurt. I hate Curse. All my homies hate Curse. Admittedly, it's kinda cool. I think Curse would have been fine if we had NPC invaders. You know, if we had red phantoms that we could then ding with Curse and they could ding us with Curse, and there's this back and forth, it'd be cool. I think if there was PvP, it would be some Ebola tier garbage, because everyone would use it. Full stop. No one would use anything else. It'd be Curse and then followed up by Bleed. Because Bleed is damage over time and reduces your healing by like 50%. And everyone would use it. I would, because I'm a scumbag. I'm the kind of guy who uses madness spells in Elden Ring when I'm forced to invade or I get invaded. Or if I'm like helping someone and they get invaded, you can bet your ass I'm using Scarlet Rot and a ton of madness. I am the worst person when it comes to PvP. Just because I don't care. I will be the biggest scumbag. If you're trying to duel a guy, I will start skirting around behind you just so I can land a black flame fireball in your back. I don't play that game. Internet Bushido be damned. I'm just here to not get jumped by just absolute shitters. Regenerator and minions. Boy, you are just the worst, aren't you? And he popped his summons. Cool. God, look at his health, though. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. I don't have any cures. Oh, no, I do. 12 of them, thank God. I was like, you can't tell me that my luck is that bad. Okay, so this dungeon's interesting because we are not complete. Because we got a door there. But I want to see, we open up this, can we access this door? Or like this, I don't know what you'd call it. Mausoleum? Oubliette? If you want to be fancy. I don't think we can. I think the whole point is you start in light or dark, and then you have to go to the other. Oh, you can. Ah, hell. Alright, I gotta look this up, because this is one of those things where they're like, oh, there's 2 ways of clearing this. And I remember one reward, I was like, ah, cool. And then when I looked at what the other reward was, I went, I got screwed. Because that is just my luck. Okay, upon looking, both of them suck. So, yeah, we're just gonna take this one. I don't care. You have to run this dungeon twice. Ah, I already had this one. Okay, whatever. Gift of Melancholy. Gift of Melancholy, now that we can look at it properly. It's under G, moron. There we go. Increases all damage dealt by 25% when stamina is at 100% for 7 seconds. If we went to the other area, which I'll just run to the place I'm not going to go through because there's nothing for me there. But if you go through, you get Gift of Euphoria. Which, on one note, I do kind of like this. This whole area reminds me of the Shivering Isles with Mania and Dementia. If you played Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. It kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, you go through here, you do a light version of this area, and you can open the other little area. But you only get one thing at a time. It's not the most worthwhile, as you can see. But Euphoria is, you get something, I can't remember what it is, but it's for like, if you spend 25 stamina, you get a boost for like 7 seconds. It's not worth it. Of all the items you could use, neither of these are worthwhile. They really aren't. It's unfortunate, but they're just kind of trash. But like I've said, there's probably some like wacko build you can do that completely validates everything and is actually super good. I just can't see it. I find the existing items kinda meh. I guess the whole thing would be if you did a dedicated melee build, consuming stamina has value. But it is entirely built around melee and heavy attacks. and I think there's a certain point you will reach where it stops paying off. Because, like, there's no melee weapon mods, so the melee weapons you have, you just gotta make do. And that's something I had mentioned, I think at the end of the normal non-DLC playthrough, was you can't modify the melee weapons. Like, you can put a mutator in, but a base, like, scrap hatchet will never compare to a boss weapon, simply on the basis that a boss weapon has a special trait. And that special trait will always give that weapon more damage, more utility, more something that you don't get from a base weapon. Cool, you're busy fighting my summon, so I could not get jumped on the ledge. And I'm going to call it here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.